This kit has been reproduced in great detail, and there are many parts. It seems that there are some parts whose purpose is unknown. The ejection sheet consists of 13 parts. The seatbelt is an etched part. The black surfacer and white are painted with an airbrush. The seat is finished in shades of khaki. Finally, apply a dry brush. The sheet is complete. All parts are painted with black surfacer. Some parts of the cockpit are small. You must be careful not to lose it. Paint the black surfacer directly in white. The top and corners are shaded, so white is lightly painted. Shading is done and painting of the leg storage is completed. No wiring is added, it remains a kit. Characteristic part of this kit. Glue the cockpit to the front leg storage and insert it into the nose. It's very tight, so I will slightly scrape both sides of the cockpit. very cool. Assemble the variable lamp. After applying the black surfacer, airbrush the kit specified color. I mainly paint white where the light is coming in. However, I try not to leave black areas. Imagine a dim feeling. Intake fans and afterburners use different metal colors and paint them properly. Add contrast with shading and dry brush. It is a very realistic afterburner, but when it is completed, it will be almost invisible. The inside of the intake is painted in 2 colors. So, I will paint it separately at this stage. If the fittings such as the intake clamp and the wall of the main landing gear storage bay are not done securely, the upper and lower parts of the body cannot be assembled properly. It is best to assemble while confirming the temporary assembly at required points. The structure of the spoiler is assembled and the interior is painted at this stage. Be careful when handling because the flap hinges are easily broken. As a result of assembling each part of the aircraft, there's a place where there is a step due to interference. So use putty to correct it. There's a strange gap at the tip of the Sparrow launcher near the front legs, so fix it with epoxy putty. Inside the jet nozzle, inside the iris board. Express the burnt situation with an airbrush and a brush. The outside is painted with gloss black. Then mix and paint with an appropriate metal color. Paint metal black with a brush where it overlaps. Masking is done everywhere to paint the aircraft. Use masking tape or sponge to prevent the paint from reaching inside. The entire aircraft is painted from a black surfacer. Draw a modeled pattern on each panel in white. Airbrush pre-shading on the panel line. The bottom surface is light gray to give a bright finish. Draw a pattern with orange or blue in place. This is also the base, and it is desirable to have a fuzzy feeling that it is slightly visible or invisible through the body color after finishing. Apply the aircraft colors repeatedly until you are satisfied, and comb the colors. Again, the pitted tubes were made from aluminum wire and nickel white wire. This is an aluminum rod. It is made by using a luter and shaving it with a file. The left and right L-shaped pitted tubes are made by soldering two nickel white wires and sanding them. Mix pastel powder with Mr. Hobby's Surfacer 500 to make a GBU heat-resistant coating. GBU was making a tank right before, so I applied it with a focus on modulation. This is the first time I have done salt masking. We sprayed a 5% concentration of dishwashing detergent with an airbrush sprinkled with salt, and then sprinkled with the neutral detergent and salt to repeat the process of fixing the salt. On top of that, I gently spray paint with a lighter color than the aircraft color with an airbrush. Aim at the place where salt is on and apply. When you're done, use hot water to remove the salt completely. It is better to change the hot water several times. Touch up the rivet line with a face brush. Touch up with a stencil made from aluminum foil. Apply decals. However, the pitted tube should have been applied after the decals were applied. We will deal with the rough work of cutting decals. Stain with dark gray enamel paint. Apply a greasy, and then erase it while blurring with a thin solution. The panel line uses Tamiya's accent color gray. For the fan-shaped dirt at the base of the main wing, draw a rough line using a toothpick and a woolen thread. After that, I will add stains freehand. Also, move the cotton swab like a wiper to adjust the color. Use the oil paints burnt sienna, prime red, ultramarine, and white to filter the sides and underside of the aircraft. Spread it out as if mixing it on the kit. The balance of each color is important. Be aware of the direction of airflow and the direction of gravity. Use petrol. This is a mistake in the color of the air brake stay. Originally it is white, so I will repaint it later. I will attach the landing gear to the aircraft. The adhesive surface was firm and could be reliably bonded. There is a design mistake in the installation of Sparrow and GBU, so it is necessary to make adjustments such as cutting the pins to make holes. You can attach the main wing to the fuselage by attaching the leading edge slats. Since the main wing is not bonded, it can be removed. The rotor blades and spoiler are in operation, the canopy is open and the front legs are kneeling. And the jet nozzle is fully open, which is a situation not found in the actual machine, but it can be said that it is a plastic model like production. Complete with a canopy,